Hi everyone, this is Marie Manucherry, and today I wanted to talk to you about understanding the symbolic messages that come from the universe, your insight, your intuition. So I'll give you some clues and tips on how it works, at least from my perspective as a practicing professional intuitive for over 20 years, a full-time business as an intuitive. I think the first thing to recognize about intuition is that it's actually so much more simple than you probably think it is. And that is why many times people overlook their insight. They think it's supposed to be complicated. And also many people, or they feel it is complicated. A lot of people don't recognize that intuition actually comes from inside of you. A lot of people are trying to use their third eye to look at the thing that they're trying to understand intuitively from outside of themselves. Like, if I want to understand a person in my life, I need to stare at them and use my intuition to read their energy. Reading energy, of course, is a common part of insight. Everything is made out of energy, and when you use your intuition, you are reading it, you're deciphering it, but it comes from being inside of yourself. You have to really know yourself or be very interested in how you work and how you feel and what's going on in your own life. You really need to be highly self-aware and use your connection to yourself as the tool for reading intuition. The third eye that rests right here inside of your brain, it's the sixth chakra. And I would love it if you start to think of it as a television screen. A lot of people think, well, this is where intuition comes from. And that's actually not correct completely. Intuition, from one perspective, it does come from your third eye. The back of the third eye is this reservoir that receives insight from the multisensory world, from the astral plane specifically speaking. The astral plane, which is the fourth dimension. We live in the third, and the dimension right outside of Earth is the fourth dimension. And then the dimension right outside of the fourth dimension is the fifth, which I see as the heaven for the human reality. So psychic information will come in through the back of your head, the back of the third eye or the sixth chakra, go across the brain, and then go into the front cone. Chakras, to me, when I dive into them, turn into cones. The front cone where it's translated. So the information then moves into the front portion of the third eye, and then it's translated. But this is just a television screen. So it shows you things either through visual experiences or auditory or feelings. And the majority of your insight actually comes from the second layer of your auric field. That's really where the intuitive muscle lives, through your relationship to your own emotions. So try to sit or rest in the lower half of your body if there's something that you want an intuitive answer about. Be inside your body and rest in the lower half of your body. And I know I've given that particular tool before, but I just needed to give it to you one more time so you realize that don't sit in your brain trying to, okay, what is that trying to tell me? What does that say? What does that mean from your brain? The brain is for the television screen. You're just supposed to view it, experience it. And when you're getting intuitive information, please do your very best to not allow your logical mind to decipher it for you. Intuition is not logical. It's magical. It's inspirational. It's always kind. It's always a surprise. It's 100% of the time accurate. I think it's 100 times more accurate than the logical mind. But when you use your logical mind to try to understand it, it is going to be so confusing. And you're going to waste a lot of energy, and you're going to feel annoyed. It's actually very basic. So here's an example. I'm the type of person who doesn't really like to be cold. It's not my favorite thing. When I walk Charles in the winter, I wear like an Alaskan parka and Ugg gloves and boots. I'm very warm and toasty. I'll even carry my tea, especially if there's snow on the ground here in the Northwest. So you would say, let's say for an example, if I ask a yes or no question that I want an intuitive answer for, and I'm highly visual, you might be too, I will see snow-peaked mountains as a no. That would be my no, because I don't like to be cold. I think the mountains are beautiful, but I don't like to be cold, so that's a no. Intuition, your insight, is going to communicate to you based on your own likes and dislikes. So if you love to be cold and you are visual too, and you see snow-peaked mountains when you're asking an intuitive question while you're resting in your feet or feeling your belly or your glutes, because that's where I want you to have your awareness when you're asking intuitive questions and there for answers. If you see snow-peaked mountains and you love to be cold, that's a yes for you. The universe will use your own personal likes and dislikes and base answers on your personality. So it's not complicated. It's not confusing. You don't have to try to go figure this out. It's very direct. It's really simple. It's actually easy. In fact, when you are receiving information, whether you're hearing something or feeling something or seeing something, or you're not even sure what you're experiencing yet, try not to stop the procedure. Let yourself get all of the information first. Wait till you're completely done receiving the information. Don't let your logical mind, tell you or ask questions while you're in that receptive mode, because you're going to disrupt the information that you're receiving. You're going to make it more complicated, more difficult. You're going to get off track. So wait till everything comes forward. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and get curious about what its meaning is. I think if you wait, it's going to make total sense for you. Here's an example. I'm going to use an experience I had with one of my kids who, when she was graduating from grad school, she didn't know if she was going to work for a nonprofit or a non-government organization or a corporation. And I knew she wanted to work for a non-government organization or a nonprofit. But I also knew my daughter, who was asking me this intuitive question, like, Mom, where do you think I'm going to work? That was her question. I knew that she also wanted to make more money than if she worked for a nonprofit. And so I, asked the question, rested in my lower half of my body, and I saw this beautiful scenery. And a lot of times things are described through like a little movie. And I want you to stay there for the entire film. Wait to the end of it. Or if you're having a feeling sensation, don't disrupt it. Wait till it goes away naturally. And then you can get curious. Let yourself be present with the experience. So I saw this little movie in my head of my daughter standing in a hallway of a building that had a little bit of a view. So I knew it wasn't like a one-story building. It was, maybe 4 or 5 stories or taller. And she was jumping up in the air. So she was really happy, like jumping up with her hands up, and her feet were kicked up behind her. And I could see the bottoms of the shoes, and I don't remember the designer's name, but the bottoms of the shoes were red. So I knew that she was going to work for a corporation, because she would have to make enough money to buy that designer, which my daughter does not buy, but to be able to buy something equivalent, if she needed to have more resources. So I knew, after I allowed the entire video to finish in my head, that she was going to work for a corporation, which I then told my daughter, which she really wasn't happy about. But when she started to apply for jobs and look for jobs, she did not avoid the corporations. And she does work for a non-government organization, but she works for their corporate side, doing wonderful work that she loves. So let the video completely finish out, or the auditory sensation, or the feeling, or sometimes you're getting all of it at once, and it can be kind of overwhelming. And people try to stop it, to go, okay, that's enough information. Let me figure out what the answer is. No, wait till it's completely done. And then open your eyes if your eyes are closed when you ask intuitive questions. And then decipher it. And remember, the universe is going to use your own personal likes and dislikes, your own personal experiences. Like, I know that the bottoms of shoes that are red, you have to buy in a nice department store, and they are going to cost you a pretty penny, even though I don't remember the designer's name. So the universe knows that I know that. And so it's going to use that information to help me understand my intuition so I can express it, and in that case, to my child. But so if you're working as an intuitive, then you're using it for your clients, or if you just want information for yourself, you're waiting till everything is finished, right? And then you're going to look at the information and translate it based on your own likes, your own personal likes and dislikes, and what you know from your personality to be true. The other key ingredient, which I did mention in my last video, is that the universe only communicates through love and kindness and compassion. So anything that you hear or see or feel that's scary or uncomfortable or unkind would be your ego, not your higher self or your connection to the universe. I hope you have fun learning to decipher the beautiful symbolism of the multisensory world, because the multisensory world is wanting you to live a life that is on track, full of purpose, and having a blast, and it's here to help you. So you might as well take note and follow the recommendations so that your life can be incredible, just exactly the way it was intended to be. Have a good day. Bye-bye.